Yeah, and it's happened again, just as we're about to go, right, let's talk about what we want with the Canberra Raiders, and then bang, Dave Riccio in the Daily Telegraph talks about it's about to happen. So it hasn't happened yet, but he's got the word on it that South Sydney are going to pick up Dave Fifita. Gold Coast Titans will have the exit. Maestro, he's on $1 million a year. He backflipped on the Roosters last year. So they were able to retain him, and he played 8 games. So no real return on David Fifita. But only 25 years of age, and the speculation is Gold Coast cover 500,000, and he'll play for 500,000. Oh, hang on. Working on a deal that would see the Gold Coast cover 500,000 of Fifita's 2026 and 2027 seasons with South Sydney. Okay. So I think he was signed for 26, wasn't he? So now they've gone, okay, we'll spread that. We want to spread it over 2 years of our salary cap. And Souths go, great, we'll spread it over 2 years of our salary too. We'll take that benefit over 2 years. So let's make the presumption he's not getting $1 million. Like I think you've got to take a bit of a haircut there. Although, it's probably... Anyway, if we say they got him for $750, let's presume that he didn't take any haircut, that he although I think Bennett could talk you into that. David Fifita at $750 is still a great buy.
And even more so at $450 for the first year.
And if that's the case, then even better. But he needs someone to unlock his undoubted potential. He hasn't been able to do it and might never be able to do it. And that's the terrifying thing. But David Fifita into that team. So David Moali, who has signed with the Manly Seagulls, they allowed him to have a look around. He signed with the Manly Seagulls. That's going to be brought forward by a year. That works for Manly. And they'll then release Nathan Brown. He'll get the opportunity to go back to the Tigers. But this feels like the Rabbitohs are having their opportunity to put together this squad that if at the start of this year, 2025, I thought were genuine top 8 contenders, top 4 contenders, but it just didn't work out.
Well, I think this is, this speaks as much to South's ability for this to go wrong and still have strong cover in that position, right?
Yep.
They've got Jai Arrow on contract at the moment, who can play that position at a state of origin level. You've got Cam Murray who can fill in on an edge if you need that. You've got Jack White in there who can even slot in should that be needed. And if you do get David Fifita at his peak, what an addition to what is already a developing quality forward pack. And we know what the backline is there already for Wayne Bennett. So once again, they'll be top 8 contenders in 2026. And I think Fifita only adds to that if they get even close to his best footy, Jim. Like, it is a big fit, and you can see why they were keen to sign him at that discounted rate, given they've got a lot of their salary cap locked up in some other quality players. Arrow's on apparently $700,000 a year. Campbell Graham on that same number. Killen Kalorma-Tungi. Latrell's on just over $1 million. Cam Murray on just over $1 million. So they needed someone at a discounted price, and to get someone that could potentially have the strike power of David Fifita, this signing makes all the sense in the world to me. This
is really similar to the Penrith situation that we talked about yesterday, isn't it? The very anti-Melbourne model, and that is you got Jack Whitener on $850. Cody Walker, you're not going to get much change out of $650. Tavita Totola, $650. Brandon Smith, $600. Like, this is a high-price team, and as a result of that, I was always wondering, well, why haven't they signed Thomas Fletcher again? And now you know why. Edge back rower. And Jai Arrow has the ability to play in the middle. Probably, I would argue he was South Sydney's best forward last season.
Even ahead of Keon?
Oh.
Sorry, I'll just pull you up there, Jim.
Well, Keon's finish was very strong. Jai was consistent all the way through the year. Yeah,
that's a good point.
You're probably neck and neck on that one. Keon was excellent back end of the year. But you look at someone like Lockie Hubner, who they've got locked up for the next 4 years, and he was excellent. He'll be getting paid nowhere near that, but he's got himself a 4-year deal.
If they can get it, and this is what we've said about them every year, right? Even before Wayne Bennett was at the club under Jason Demetriou. If they can get it right, there is every tool there to be a legitimate premiership contender. The window's open, Jim.
What happened to the Lewis? How much do they have to pick up of Lewis Dodd? Did we ever get clarification around that? I don't think we did. No, they've got Jonah Glover there in place of Lewis Dodd at obviously a much cheaper rate. and they've got Jai Gray locked in for next year, or not. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Jamie Humphries was their halfback. There wouldn't be many halfbacks in the National Rugby League getting paid $150,000 a year as your starting halfback.
But they need that, right? We've gone through all the cash they're spending elsewhere.
Yeah, if he is to retain that position. So I don't think Jack Whiten has the capacity to be the 5'8" that South Sydney need for them to be their best. Because if you go Jai Gray is there, then I'm still playing Jai Gray at fullback and put Latrell Mitchell at left centre. And if I've got Latrell Mitchell at left centre with the ability to do what Tom was doing when he was at right centre for the Seagulls, and that is just turn up anywhere, Latrell. But if that's the case, he must get ball. And Jack Whiten has a run-first mentality, and that's when he plays his best footy. So I do have confidence that Wayne will sort it out.
So to go back to your halves question then, who is starting in 6 and 7 for them in round one?
Well, that's the thing. Cody Walker clearly can play 6 or 7, best suited to 6. But are you prepared to go Cody 6 and then you're going to put into the halfback position? Where is he? I was just speaking of Jamie Humphries. Like, do you want to go with what they did with Jamie Humphries at the back end of the year? Was they went, Jamie, you play halfback, and then trying to think who the player would come on. And then Jamie would go to running back rower. He's big enough to do that.
Yeah.
So David Fifita, and so what? David Fifita's best edge is left edge as well.
Yes.
So you're looking at a left edge of Cody Walker, David Fifita short, or go out the back to Latrell Mitchell, or out the back to Jai Gray to Latrell Mitchell.
Frightening.
And there's Alex Johnson going, oh, hello, Ken.
Hey, Ken. I'm coming, baby.
Can't wait till that draw's released.
Yeah.
South Sydney fans will be there going, righto, what game is it? What game is it?
And where can I get close to the field just so I can get on?
I wonder if you're going to have to go, whichever ground that you go to, I'm trying to think which way they run. It's either going to be the southeast corner, or the northwest corner. Just depending. You have to take your luck on that one. If you're at a core stadium, I bet you get a seat at both ends. So, yeah. But look at this. The pieces come together. I mean, they had a horrible injury toll this year. They're not the only club that could say that. They seem to be impacted more than others. Where's that stat? How much of your salary cap is on the sideline? And Latrell Mitchell still becomes this really important focal point, even if you do just play him at left centre. He's such a bellwether for the whole team. But that is if I'm a South Sydney fan, I'm bullish.
Can I flip you quickly before we end this segment to the Gold Coast Titans side of this? We did a segment, we talked about them, I think it was this time last week, about all the question marks they've got over their cap. This frees up a little bit, probably not as much as they would have liked. I think I said to you last week, $400,000. If you could pay that to get David Fifita out, you'd be pretty happy.
Yeah.
$500 is just that another little step extra.
I want to check that his contract was just for 2026 for Fifita.
It was.
Yeah,
it
right.
was.
So they've spread that 500.
Yes.
What about if you do it this way? We'll make you play 500, but you can spread it over 2 years. I'm presuming that the Gold Coast can do that. That they're allowed to do that. How does that work? How is it that they're just anyway?
Is that any different to back-ending a contract?
Oh well, it's different in the fact that so rather than take the hit in the 1 year, you're spreading it over 2 years. Back-ended contracts are separate altogether. That's a deferment of payment. This is a delayed payment on a player that's not going to be there.
Yeah. Could argue it's akin to Tommy asking to take a bit of a haircut on his pay last year.
Yeah, not allowed to. So what's the perceived value of David Fifita? It wouldn't be more than $750. You could mount a very strong case that it wouldn't be more. His best, absolutely. Now you just got to get his best. Exciting if you're a South Sydney fan, and you know what? Tino's probably over there in England right now reading it, going, "Oh, more salary cap space at the Gold Coast Titans."
Isn't that interesting?
Let's see how that all plays out.